Yaza me ya yinza yuku banu kakweo. Ya ka nebe rabo ma. Ya o banu sali e wo kakwewa. Ya ka nebe rabo ma. Ya o. Sa. Je mama wo kadu nso. E mere mi. Ya ka won ya due. Ya due ya due. Me yo ake ya dog ya wa. Ye yo o ka po ya. Ye yo o ka mu ya dwe yo. Afo yo ya zia gala wana ble bie ka kamai. Aye yo ya ka ga. Uban sali obligat me. Kanu kaka le dogubo Mako toka la E pomu ini wakanti Watame kwa nyia Deklo mere kwa mi Uya kaka mkuro Se matani Kaba meno sare kwa radio station Me apata nyie Zu Zet Yuaya Zet E waka waka Yuaya Medo karo kwe idiani Wae yuaya kaka la wae I'm in Wasu, what I like, I'm in Sally, be a come like a yellow. Well, Melomen, Melomen was so blue. All our power cracker, one whopper, all let us do a year. Go on there, you are.
Good afternoon, folks. I'm Afonso Zean. So today is Thursday. All things considered, fitting away right here. Tonight we're taking you to, we always told you that we are in the business to showcase the beauty and qualities and some of the good things of Liberia. We are live on our Facebook feed, our Twitter lines, and on the official website of the Liberia Public Radio. That's www.liberiapublicradio.com. And we are in central Liberia to where Minister Jemima Walker is fading away right here. Take me into Yekepa City. I want to welcome all of our viewers and listeners across the globe. A lot is unfolding, and our own man, Moses, our national correspondent, and also with the local radio stations in Kak City, is currently in the nation capital of Monrovia. Good evening, buddy. A lot of you just take a ride with me here this afternoon to Nima County. Let's go to Ganta City, right? Yeah, a lot of good things comes also. There are a lot of good things that comes out of Liberia. Why not? We'll talk about it sometime, because these politicians, they give people headache, put pains in your body. So sometimes we just gotta recreate ourselves and keep going, And to let you know, management, we have adopted a new system here. We try to showcase the good things about Liberia, but sometimes we play this music right now you to abstract us. So we want to make sure we see concern. If you want your video to be played here, son, you have to get in touch with the management of the Liberia Public Radio. All right, things change, and we have to keep with the system. You are ya to me ya no akira. You are ya. Apo you are ya pate punuka wa lo akibona. You are ya. Apo you are ya pa Jeffrey. And also our own men, regular listeners and followers of LPR. I'm talking about Miss Moses Guel is in Des Moines, Iowa. You are ya. Apo you are ya don't pienuka wa lo akibona. You are ya. Oh, yes, Elliot, I'm telling you, that's the only country that I love. And so sometimes when I see people and the manner in which our people treat a country, it's so painful. Especially these greedy hunter politicians. I think people should make use of these talents in Liberia to also create is our cultural industry is down to the ground. How do we expect tourism and people to flourish into the country to bring in revenue? They don't understand it because they are not far-sighted, they are narrow-minded. Okay, so let's see here. We're going to get this program going. I'm Alfonso Zean, sort of the Liberia Public Radio and LPR TV. We want to welcome our viewers and listeners across the globe, wherever you are. Thank you for sharing your afternoon with us. I'm Alfonso Zean, sort of the Liberia Public Radio and LPR TV. Every Thursday is All Things Considered. From Thursday to Thursday, there are a lot of drama unfolding in Liberia, in the diaspora, in our own surrounding. But they don't talk about it. But people choose to talk about a few selected. I want to welcome one of the strong community leaders. I'm talking about Madam Cecilia Quet, is a former president, chapter president of the Grand Unit Association. These people that work so hard to make the union to be what it is. But I'm not sure what is going on. And we're going to keep these sort of conversation going. This weekend, we're still going to be on our routine to have a lot of high call issues I discuss. Starting up Saturday, we're going to be a double pack one Saturday afternoon and Saturday evenings. We're going to get out of our own comfort zone, step beyond the borderlines of politics. There is a guy in Minnesota. He's a Black American, Mr. Moss. He's making a huge investment in Liberia. What's going through his mind? What are his thoughts? And what other Liberians feel and think about their country in terms of making an investment? Now he's seeking for the city council positions for the city of Brooklyn City. But this guy is, my understanding last year, he was a guest speaker at Harvard High School through the courtesy of our national correspondent, who is also a local station worker there, Ty Moses. We managed to get in contact with him, and guess why? He's willing to come here to surface right here on the LPR Tuesday, that's Saturday afternoon, Saturday evening at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If there's any changes that are going to come in, we'll keep you posted as usual. And then come Saturday afternoon before Mr. Moss, we're going to go into the embedment politics of Liberia on Capitol Hill. The Honorable Moses, the Honorable Zaza, woman Zaza of Santa County, who is a sitting representative, will be my guest. And we're going to be having some high call, painful discussion. His chief of staff, Mr. Oliver Baer, has confirmed with us that Mr. Matthew G. Zaza will be here on the Liberia Public Radio. The last time I interviewed Honorable Zaza was a couple of years ago. Way ahead of 2023, there are going to be some other runoff in the senatorial race. Matthew Zaza has made his declaration that he will be contesting for Santa County. But we're going to be looking at the record from his representative positions, the lower house, and for which he's seeking for political elevation and for the people of Santa County. We're going to be discussing all of that and hopefully to get his take on his man, Milton Tiaji, tough talking Milton Tiaji now, according to our correspondent, is seeking for some sort of damage control. So in the front page, Africa, $3-something million, what he calls defamations of character. But he had an interview with them. I'm not sure whether the reporter put fingers in his throat to speak out what he was speaking out. I'm not sure with that. But we try to reach out to Mr. Tiaji in order to make the information proportional to give his shot. He yet to return our call. We will insist we'll continue to have that sort of conversation. And that's a sickening and heartbreaking thing of our politicians. They choose which network to go to. They are very selective where they think they're going to have a free pass, where they do not want to answer some of the tough questions, the how, the when, and why. They try to avoid that. And so they go where they think people are going to serve them peanut butter and jelly. Unfortunately, on LPR, there's no store or there's no provision here that we can give anybody peanut butter and jelly. Look, these politicians, we have to ask them why. And this is why I'm starting with my own house. When we rather get this going, the cap must eat a home baby first, not in the physical context, but ask them all of the tough questions. And this is why we have been scrutinizing all of the candidates for Grand Jide. Because it's so painful by this time. I was speaking to a doctor who is from Grand Jide. At some point in time, we're going to have him here to get his take. Dr. Fly is based in UK. And I've been trying to reach out to all opinion leaders of Grand Jide. In as much we're going to be holding the executive branch of government responsible, these people who are also been given state power, they all must be held accountable of their actions, of their political decisions, of their doing. Yes, no one. I don't think anybody should just walk free. And that's why we are in. And guess what? This is not just all about Grand Jide as well. LPR is well positioned in Liberia. We are getting there. We are getting things going greatly. All of these contestants, even the opposition bloc, I'm surprised that most of them, we have talked to them. And it's all about justification why they are not coming. Why? Because they want to go to maybe this other outlet. This outlet are going to spoon feed them like a babysit them, put diapers on them. We do not put diapers on politicians. If you want to be a politician, you must be a grown-up guy. All right. So extensively, we have reached out to all of them. If not all, fair to mention, a significant portion of them. And we hope they will make their good decision. Because if they refuse, we will say it. I talked to Madam Ida Gonglotware, who was also contesting in Battleground in Nima County. By the way, her mother just passed lately. That's one of the reasons she was not able to respond to us, which of course is good. But she said she's going to make time. And I take her off her word. Because information must be proportionate. There are two ladies in Grand Jide. So far, we are hearing that in the senatorial. I'm giving them a chance. You never know. Maybe after this month, this is a free promo because the next time you got to pay money. Public relations is very expensive. Things that we use here is very expensive. This is why we don't just come out to do cash out. We are not a cash out, how they call it, old-timer association. No. We will ask. There will come a time that we will ask, but we also want to make sure we make considerable effort on our part so that when we ask people, they must have a reason for which they are giving. Every morning cash up, every evening cash up, every night cash up. Well, every network have their own management style way of doing things. But we here we take into serious concern. We do not want to take the generosity, the kindness of Liberians to abuse it. Just how the politicians are taking advantage of them. They vote these people into offices, they come to make some empty promises. And this is why we have to create this sort of awareness of their decision. And we got to hold them responsible of their decision. I'm not there, you are not there. These people go and vote. They don't take into consideration who are these people they are voting for. They don't take into considerations their record, what they are bringing to the table. Some of them, they have no idea. They wake up in the morning to wash their face and run to any seat and round up by certain number of voters. And then they go out and they wake up, they're contesting. And these are people, when you call them, you want to talk to them to reveal or unveil their idea, their vision for the county. They don't have anything to say. Some of them have been there 9 years, they didn't do anything. Now they say, okay, again, reward me for another 9 years. The first 9 years, when things were not okay, we're putting things together. Just give me the other 9 years and I'm going to go back to get things done. Are you kidding me? The first 9 years did not bear any fruit. So what is the justification for me to give my vote to you? Look, we have to get this conversation going. And I understand fully well how people take advantage of situation. And poverty is one of the things, the desperations, the dying needs of basic things people can't get, how to get it to eat. So these politicians, they look at it and say, okay, so he get 4 or 5 children. He's not working. He got his wife and all of that. I can give him Zean. I can buy him XYZ. And look at, because of a situation where he's reigning and his whole family in this area, we can capitalize on that. And he can vote for us. A whole household can vote for us, and he can prevail on other people to vote for us. That's the audacities of our politician. But, and fair to say, if you were in our shoe, perhaps you will also do it. Let's be real here. We have to be authentic. We have to be real in this conversation until we can address the high call issues that are affecting our people in a manner in which we keep the conversation with them as well. Will also give the reason to listen to us. But if we fail to listen to their plight and accommodate their conversation, to have an honest conversation with them to address some of these high call issues, we will continue to have this problem because people will always take advantage of them. So we shouldn't just sit here. Also, in that we have a role. We need to play a pivotal role into what they are doing. Until we can come to that senses, our tone, our language, our conversation, then we have a challenge. We have a challenge, Mr. Samuel S. Mulbasi. I'm watching from Botota, Bon County. Okay, my dear brother Samuel, thank you for spending down with us here at LPR. And I respect you, what you are doing. We know the high cost of data, they call it internet usage in Liberia, to listen. And this is why for us, when we come on these planet, we must make use the beauties of this sort of technology. And that's why it pains me that when people are cussing and people are throwing kitchen sink, they rap me, and they expect people to listen to them, and they expect to get resolutions into their ideas. No. You can't cause me for me to listen to you, because if I were closer to you, I will punch in your mouth and then you swallow all your teeth. And next time when you cuss into you will take time, because when you don't have no teeth in your mouth, then you're going to use your hand like this and start talking. But I think it is serious. There's a need that we as a Liberians, whether at home or in the diaspora, to have this conversation. And for those of you from the various counties, please, because we have all of their names, if not all. For now, we have our correspondents in Nima, in Bon County, in Mount Gibby, in Sino, in Harper. We are getting down to Grand Crew and other places. Don't let them hear it. If you are from Lofa, you are from Riverses, Grand Basso, Nyombli Kanga Lawrence, we've been calling her. She's not picking our phone. She's a political leader of the Liberty Party. Man, liberal progressive, Samson Brown Toll Party. The only liberal on this network. I want to play host to Nyombli Kanga Lawrence. I'll send that invitation. I'll even send it to Darius Dillon and all of those folks. No one is off the radar. We need to talk to all of them. The future, what they have been doing. The notions and the mindset of these politicians that have turned to humanitarian organizations overnight simply because they try to play nice now. They are playing nice to you. They are acting like Abraham, the Isaac, the Moses type now. Anything you say, yes, sir, yes, sir. Why? Because they are eyeing something and they want to be so submissive. Do not listen to that, yes, sir, yes, sir. Ask all of the questions. And that's why we're going to be having them. And that's why we're going to be having this sort of conversation with them. You know, we got to ask all of the tough questions, guys. This is a serious business. You can have somebody. When last you saw our political leaders or any kind of officials resign for any investment? You have the entire cross-pollination type. They're running from party to party. Yeah, I just heard our correspondent send that. Even yesterday, I received that note from our correspondent, judiciary correspondent, government, the letter of resignation from Ambassador Jeremiah Salonte. He's not leaving the ANC. That's the tradition. That's how Liberian politicians behave from time to time to time. This is why TWP is not in existence. This is why NDPR is not alive, because they center themselves around these folks who are head of the political institution. They do not fight hard to structure, to make the party to be a structured party, to be organized. They are all grieved, ballot-driven, self-centered politicians. When it's raining these days, they are not willing to get wet. You will be surprised. I won't call a name because we are hearing more. Most of them, the opposition, most of them going to be crossing carpet to the entire party. You know, they get a saying the same: when the going gets tough, the tough gets going. So most of them now, the going is getting tough. They are out of resources. And in most cases, in third world country like Liberia, the ruling party always has the edge. Right? So this guy was a vice presidential candidate just yesterday going election. And he's leaving. I'm wanting to talk to some it's official from Bond County. And he contesting. He's contesting. Our understanding, he's one of the senatorial aspirants. We try to place a call to him. Other than that voicemail, we want to welcome our man Fallis. I'm Law Fallis to Washington from Zwedru Granger County. All right, my dear brother, welcome on this network. If that's your first time, make it your home network. That's the Liberia Public Radio. To our understanding, the ruling party chairman is in the provincial senate of Zwedru today. When last did Moluba Molu make a trip to Zwedru? I think we have pretty close to maybe 6 or 7 senatorial aspirants. I had the opportunity to interview Representative Zopeno, Dr. George Bollet, Representative George Bollet, former Foreign Minister Thomas Yaya Nimle, and the rest. And this week, there's a new face that is in the race for Grand Jetta County. Justina Shate, Gay Shate, Ace will be also going in the race. I reached out to all of them. Honorable Sarah Scoper, Yaron Beatrice Johnson, Felicia Duncan, is in Grand Jetta. These are people that are contesting. All of them have to come here for us to talk. They need to tell us what they have in store. Right? Yeah. Fair enough. And not just only they alone, all of the other folks from the various counties. I'm still waiting. CPP Manipaka Des Moines for Bond County. I'm still waiting. Maybe I got to ask Pat George to help me to get them here. I'm waiting for Ty Wombi for Nima County. When you call them, they hear the name and then they say, okay, we will call you back. Probably they are doing consultation to people who have influence over them. So they become more selective where to go. But we will also made it clear because for us, we are not selective. We think everybody must be treated proportionally, equally, and be given the opportunity. That's why we don't easily make judgments on people. We'll tell them exactly our interests that we want to talk to them. Because you know what? When you put up any bad apple for Bond County, you are producing the bad future for Liberia. Bottom line, period. That's it. It is not only Bond County going to be hurt. I'm anxious to know what these senators are going to bring for Grand Jetta County, because it will produce a bad leader for Grand Jetta. We are setting a bad precedent for the Republic of Liberia. So the issue of the country is not just only with the executive branch of government. Yes, they have their greater portion to play. They have their part to play. The executive branch of government runs the day-to-day activities of the country. That's quite correct. But the legislative branch of government is a separate institution under the provisions of our Constitution. And they have a specific role. And so sometimes it's so disturbing and alarming that when you interview some of these people, they don't even know their function. Yet, they want to be a Fonso what? Representative. They want to be senator. That's the constitutional right. They meet the requirement. They in line with the provision. That's quite true. But we have to talk to them. We got to see the code, the principles, their blueprint. There's a lady, Madame Toomey, Dorothy Torment. I had a privilege to interview one of the senatorial aspirants from Bond County. Fair to mention, this is the lady that laid out a blueprint to give us an idea with a timeline as to how when she's elected, how is she going to lead the people of Bond County. All the other folks have been having it, they look in the air and say, we'll do this, we'll do this, we'll do this. The future, we will do this, we'll do this. There's nothing tangible. There's nothing that we can hold in, or so gentleman arrangements, sort of gentleman conversation they come and have here. You don't even have a little blueprint of what you want to do. How the heck you want to be senator or representative when you they don't do it because they don't want us to hold them accountable. But when I talked to that lady, I interviewed her the last time, she said, yeah, I'm happy. But this is what I'm running on. This is what I'm going to be contesting on. I want people to hold me accountable of what I'm going to be saying. And thought she was joking. She asked for my email, sent it, and she's outlined systematically, step by step, what is priority number one, what is priority number two. But hard time, poverty, I don't care. If she doesn't have the money, the resources to execute her campaign, if she would not post zinc on people's houses, if she would not buy the rice and stuff like that, believe me. So the challenge is with Pat George. Yeah, that is counted. Right? For them to tell, and that's what we're all supposed to be doing. Our man Jeremiah Slunton now resigned. Let me see if I able to pull this letter, the content of that letter. You know, yeah, the content of that letter. But in the meantime, on the 9th of August, yeah, in the next couple of days, we're gonna be having that the promo here going on the 9th of August. We're gonna be having a big concept here. All right, so there's a lady, Minister Kofa. She's gonna be having a major concept here with gospel artists all over. There will be a musical concept here by Minister Kofa, Rose Kofa, and more than 15 gospel artists are going to be a live voice concert right here on LPR on the 9th, making some contributions in Liberia.
You give me understanding to know your ways, to do your will. I'm so glad that you're in my life. Jehovah, you are the amazing grace. So every day I'm gonna sing a song to you. Every day I'm gonna sing a song to you. You are my Lord and King. You are my King. You are my Lord of Lords. You are my Lord. Hey, you are amazing King. You are my King. You are my Lord of Lords. You are my Lord. Hey. Praise you, you bless my life. Say I'm going to praise you, you changed my life. Miracle worker, wondrous worker. Nobody can stop you, only you can do it. Miracle worker, wondrous worker. Nobody can change it, only you can change it. I'm so glad that you're in my life. Jehovah, you are the amazing grace. So every day I'm gonna sing a song to you. Every day I'm gonna sing a song to you. You are my Lord and King. You are my King. You are my Lord of Lords. You are my Lord. Hey, you are amazing King. You are my King.
That's Minister Rose Kofat. Going to be hosting a major concert here with major gospel artists. They will be appearing live here. That's the 9th of August. Very shortly, the promo going to be rolling right here. All right. That's Minister Rose Kofat and her group. They're going to be having a major concert right here at Papa George. Good afternoon. Is our LPR analyst, my own Melody Jones Melody, right here in the Ocean State of Rhode Island. Good afternoon. Quite a long time, man. This cover keeping everybody to their terrain. I want to welcome our own man, Christopher Fans, is based in Sackley, Nima County. We say good afternoon. My own friend and brother, Emmanuel Chuatiet, right here in the Ocean State of Rhode Island. We say thank you for joining us here this afternoon. Okay, let me see here. Let me see the letter here from Jeremiah Salonte. Salonte happens to be the former ambassador during the Helen Johnson Sirleaf government. Ambassador to Liberia, U.S. Liberia ambassador to the U.S. and Canada. This is a letter. I did it on the 15th. Today is the what? 16. That was yesterday. Yeah, he's switching political gear. Maybe trying to do whatever. But this is what the letter says. Councilor Luscious told Secretary General Alternative National Congress ANC, 24th Street, Sinkat, Monrovia, Liberia. July 15, 2020. Dear Secretary General Toll, I regret to submit this letter of resignation of my membership from the Alternative National Congress ANC effective today, July 15. That was yesterday, 2020. My conviction for this decision was predicated on the margins of a continuing political betrayal. Political betrayal. Oh my goodness. Of me by the party and its leadership. These are strong allegations or assertion here to Ambassador Salonted is making political betrayal. And so the party and its leadership. And I hope Alexander Cummings, folks within the ANC will adequately address this issue as well. Just how when Jika get in George Weah toes, we can dig it and make sure that we get that out. We need to get those Jika as well from Alexander Cummings toes because he's seeking for state power. And he's the chairperson of this collaborative what they call them party. There's so plenty. You have the Rainbow Coalition, all of them, Dr. Jeremiah Wapu and E. Regina Goodrich. They're on the other end. Okay, betrayal of its leadership. Since December 2019, in a bid for the Bond County senatorial elections stated for December 2020, I am therefore convinced that the ANC can no longer live up to its original principles of equal opportunities for all, where the ANC is the touch barrier for unity and peace, and where the ANC is the answer and the answer for all. Let me wish ANC good luck in its quest for political leadership. Kind regards, sincerely, Ambassador Jeremiah C. Salonte. And I've been listening to these little chihuahua all around here. In as much we have the right to answer to seek a question, but Salonte is being heavily bashed by folks who do not agree with his opinion, his view, why he's leaving ANC without even giving the opportunity to answer all of the questions or maybe to have a conversation with him. My guess, making an educated guess, I've not had a chance to talk to him or neither speak with folks from the ANC. Before you see this sort of decision to come in a public domain like this, there are some backyard conversation, and perhaps nothing much was done to address it, to put it to a rest. For this reason, the outburst expel out and to those of us you didn't know, I didn't know about it now is in our domain. But what is important here, there are some key things here. Let me welcome my own brother, Arthur Dwejit from inside Liberia. Is the magistrate of Grangida County, where you're going to be at a really tough race. Good afternoon, Madam Marita Tode Slangat, as the wife of J.D. Slanga. So, they are all scrambling now like an air fighter jet. On Jeremiah Slonte, he's betrayed. He's all about himself. Politics is all about interest. But there are some key words that he has inserted into his letter of resignation. It has to be addressed. It has to be addressed. And I'm hoping and anxious that he will return my call so we can give him the opportunity. And if he is to speak out, then we'll also have Alexander Cummings of the ANC to come out as well. Because this is a grave allegations or assertion being made here by Jeremiah Solonte, and I'm anxious where he's going now. And that's sort of because I had a little brief interview with Alexander Cummings, the party global chairperson passed away. A couple of 5-6 years ago, I had an opportunity to interview veteran Kwame Clement, who was seen as the eye of the ANC, the woman journalist, woman rare, and all of that. So we got a little idea or a little insight of the ANC, its creations, and where it started from. This is the problem. All of these people, they were all part of ANC. So what is happening within now that people are leaving and it's not being addressed? Kwame Clement is currently in Liberia. He's no longer, I can't say definitive, but from all indications, Woman Red, a great, fine journalist, very familiar name for those of you in Liberia. Her name is not there. Passed away. Is still the wrong. And we'll always see this thing consistently happening. People going in and out. They are trying to fund political shit. That's the traditions of our politicians. Whatever the gravy is, that's where they go. They don't build an institution. They just come back to the point. People leave NDP or they come to CDC. Now CDC is a honey pack. That's where everybody going to be going. And I was surprised. I was talking to one lawmaker. I'm not going to call his name. That was some sort of conversation. And it's in the opposition that we're all going to go because they don't know what's going. They don't know what's going on. So I wouldn't be surprised that we're going to see more people crossing carpet because they are trying to find political accommodations. In that event, what really is happening? What is going on? What you need to know? What do I need to know as well? Yes, it shouldn't be a secret. These people are seeking for political office. If you listen to see this of Jeremiah Slonte and our own friend and brother Milton T.A.J., which, by the way, I haven't heard anybody coming out vividly to condemn Milton T.A.J. Now, in turn, Milton T.A.J. somersault now, he's going to sue Front Page Africa for defamations, maybe assassinate his character. Yes, nobody put finger in your throat. You say it was a tradition. What the heck is that? What sort of tradition do you have on Capitol Hill that when there's a presidential appointment, you have to bargain? I confirm you, then you give my family person job. Is that what George Weah told you? Is that a responsibility of the committee? You only say it's a tradition because you want a commendation. It is ridiculous. I can say that for upfront to see a sitting senator, somebody who is That's the job of a senator. There's a difference with the House and the South. The senator that confirms appointments from the executive branch of government. And part of that confirmation exercise is to ensure that the right thing is done, that the president's decisions or those nominees that are going to be put forward by the president, you scrutinize them to check their record, you make sure everything in tight. But this is the guy who is presiding over the process, who is the overseers. His decisions are final. When his committee confirms you, it means that appointment holds. To come out to say that that's a culture, that's a tradition in his office. So I'm curious, and I want to give him the opportunity. The other members of the committee, are they aware? Do they still have that culture too? I don't know what sort of culture is that? Whether it's a Poro or Sunday or whatever culture is it? Is that all of them? So when anytime the president makes appointment, how long this tradition has been existing? For Helen Johnson Sullivan or Wayne? And I can't wait if I have Matthew Zaza here to have that conversation with him. Because if a CDC person or any other person have done that, we will batch, we'll also whine, we'll also talk. But I've not heard anybody, all of these talk show hosts and advocates, I've never heard them. I think I have the recording here, courtesy of Front Page Africa. Nobody has addressed that. That's how deadly and how ugly politics is in Liberia. Milton Tiaji of Unity Party. He done build a culture, a traditions in his office. And I can't wait to have Representative Matthew Zaza of Sano County Saturday afternoon. Whether he has, whether they from Sino or whatever, he also has that culture, even though he doesn't confirm, but whether they also get a hotline that they also kind of like coordinate, because the Senate is responsible to confirm. And to see a tough talking guy, he was a former government spokesperson before. That's corruption at the highest level is against the law. He want to say he's asking for a job. He doesn't ask for money. What is the basis of that? How sure when you asking for a job in terms of confirmation was you the most likely you ask for money as well? I think there must be a select committee be formed to have Senator Milton Tiajet to investigate it. Then you turn around, you go sue Front Page. You want $3 million. These people don't get shame. Baka boy idiot, bro, mercy. They don't get shame. And they don't feel sorry for that country. He wants $3 million. Are you serious? You need to be investigated. You need to be investigated for you to talk that. Let me see what I able to get hold of that recording here, so that you will know exactly. For those of you who have not had a chance to play it, to listen to it, to see. The man jumper. The jumper now he say he want what they call it, say he finished throwing a hell of a bomb. And he say people should. Let me see here. Which of this number that I have this recording here? Okay, let me see here. Let me see. I want to make sure here. Yeah, then he won't go through Front Page now. The one he not get from Nobobduki, you want to get it from Front Page Africa. How shows that? He think it's funny, right? He laughing. He think it's funny. I want to welcome my man named Mr. Yunant, a long-time human rights advocate from Liberia College Justice and Peace Commissions. I also a senior analyst of the Liberia Public Radio. Milton Tiaje is laughing and he think it's funny. That corruption part, let me see here. That corruption part, I get it. To ask people to confirm one or two people. But to ask for money, no. How can we justify that? Then he's laughing. He thinks it's a funny thing. And not single of these opposition to Alexander Cummings, who is the head of the ANC. Unity Party is one of the collaborative group of with the CPP. Right now, they are all muted, unwilling to address this. Now, he admitted it seems to be all of these committees, you know, that's what they do. They are kind of like I would see it as an organized crime on Capitol Hill. Because Milton Tiaje has of autonomous agencies are responsible to confirm presidential appointments. Any committee, once the president makes an appointment, you got to go through to Milton Tiaje. So it's like, it's all a committee. Yet he say, and look, please, this guy should be investigated. And even the Unity Party, they should be ashamed to have such a person as a senator. Complete criminal behavior. Who talks about it now? Nobody's talking anything about it. Yeah. We can bash George Weah or some of the bad policies. He's not off the table with what we're going to be saying. But this is a senator. He represents the county. He is the voice of the county. And saying that, I hosted one of the senatorial candidates for Sano here the other day. And but I not listen to it. Yeah, you also on your way to Capitol Hill to be initiated in a culture of corruption and dishonesty, deception. And you coming to face an interview. Don't you think you're gonna be asked as senatorial expiring? Will you do the same thing? Do you condone it? And he's not even willing to denounce or condemn the actions of his senator because he doesn't know the detail. Even though the tape is there, nobody puts finger in his throat. He was talking. He feels proud where he was talking. He thinks it's a good thing. He thinks it's funny, and he was laughing. And they still get him there. He's still there. Abochie. You know? Abochie still having there. I mean, he's no longer on the committee, but believe me, such a person, I think these people, they should be investigated. We need to know more. Not just only asking for a favor for people to get a job. He's not working with ministry. He's not working with ministry. He not get agencies. So at least when people come, when they appoint them, then they ask them for favor. So tell me, when you asking for, so then how can you even hold the president accountable? When the president makes appointment, those the president appoints, they come to you for confirmation to verify. Your job there is to ensure and tell the president, hey, Mr. President, this nominee is unfit. This nominee does not have the credential. This nominee does not know the technical know-how to head this institution or this ministry of government. Instead, you're asking that nominee, okay, and he say, if we not confirm you, you will not get a job. I don't know. I'm going to put a number here. I'm going to be here for a little short time here this afternoon. We're going to have some program. Let me put a number here and for your participation. As usual, we always value your participation to this public discussion. Our job is to bring it up, and you are the one to to make it to make a decision. But it's just so, I don't know. It's so ridiculous. So sad. Have men and women that are representing us. Believe me, our lawmakers, it were the lawmakers in the U.S. The stimulus package, they were going to go to all of them. They were going to pay out, but they were going to pay themselves and leave the ordinary citizen. If Milton T.J. or like Mitch McConnell or Nancy Pelosi, they were going to pay. They were going to pay themselves. Let me see here. What was the comment? It was probably okay. Let me see here. It's right there. The number. We're going to take a few calls before we wrap up here. And like I said, on Saturday, we're going to be hosting Representative Matthew Zaza of, I believe, District Number 3 of Sano County, Republic of Liberia. I want to welcome Brother D. D. Kandimant. I say I'm watching from London. Good evening. Hopefully you are doing well. Please observe all of the protocols. This virus, this deadly virus is still in the making. Let us not ignore it. Let us follow health protocols. Welcome. Valuable, one of our valuable listeners. I'm talking about Francisca, always here with us. Thank you for joining us here. That's the number there, 682-433-8802. We're going to be here for a little bit shorter time here by 4:15 here. Hopefully, we're going to be wrapping up. Time can catch up with us here. Sure have had our correspondent based in, I'm telling you, Sissy, they are not even lawbreakers. They are, I don't know what, we respect them. They are honorable people, but these people, they are not setting no precedent. They are the reason for what we have today in that country, and they all should to be held responsible. Milton T.J. he knows better than that. He's been in government for a hell of a long time. He served as a spokesperson for national government, and now he's in the Senate. To sit down there and be laughing that that's a culture, that's a tradition. I've not seen anybody to talk about it. Nobody have talked about it. Nobody, you know, from the opposition column, even though he's part of the opposition group. But sometimes we have to get the courage. When there's a mistake, we must admit. Whether it was done on purpose or not, we must admit. Yeah, here come the liberal progressive. He's part of his party. Even though he's not a Liberty Party partisan, but they all constitute the collaborative party. They get a tradition. Who knows? Whether maybe Nyambli Kanga Lauren to get her own tradition on the other side, and who knows? And Oscar Cooper and all of those people. If Milton TJ can have that tradition, anybody can have that tradition. It is so ridiculous. They treat the country like it is their personal property, or like they're running their homes. You know, if we not confirm you, you will not get a job. Seriously? So they all have to facilitate the president to make bad decisions. Because when the president makes an appointment, you in the house, you are elders of the house. Your job there is to tell the president, Mr. President, well, this person here, because of what X, Y reason, we don't think this person is fit. This person here, we cannot confirm this person. Even here, you think about it in the Senate, in the Western world here, when the president makes appointment, you see some of the lawmakers, depending the committee, the confirmation going to be held. Some of them come out boldly and say, well, I cannot confirm this person. I will vote against this person because of X, Y, or Z reason. But they don't do it because Milton TJ has planted a cotton tree, took it from Sano County and brought it on Capitol Hill in Capitol Building now. I don't know which place is his house. His office, and we can say maybe he's trying to put it together now for all of the parties that are joining together. And then he's laughing about it. He thinks it's funny. If I'm going to take money, you think you're not the man will blow a line, talking like an ordinary person when you are senator. Hello, caller, are you there?
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I'm hearing you. Good afternoon. What's your name and where are you calling from?
This is Ben calling from Minnesota. How are you?
Yeah. Hey, Ben, how are you today, my man?
Yeah, I'm doing good.
All right. So, yeah, we are.
Yeah.
There's no indication to why I see us drowning in this thing over and over, even after and before George Weah. That it has been like that, and there's no indication because people are not held responsible. People make reckless statements. People do these things on purpose, and they walk free. And I know nothing is done.
Yeah, all I can say here is that the CPP is making the CDC to look like angels. I mean, as bad as the CDC is, when you listen to some of the things these guys do in the CPP, it's just like a punch in the guts. These were the people that are supposed to rescue the Liberian people from these criminals who are controlling the CDC. And look at what this man said, Milton TJ. And the CPP is going to sit down again and say nothing about it. This is not the first one. This is not the second. The other tip that came up with Sandra Johnson.
Yeah.
Refused to address it.
Sandra Johnson. A man like Sandra Johnson, is he a change agent? Is he an opposition? They just come on. They are so desperate for state power. Who is Sandra Johnson reside over the millions and of child stealing and has refused to send. The other day he said he offering advice or whatever to ALP. I said, are you serious?
Man, these people are jokers.
People, they are sick.
And you see, what I can foresee coming.
Government money they can divide. Nothing will come from other. Can you imagine?
Yeah, because the way the guys are just playing fun, because they are all jokers. I mean, the CPP It's a bunch of jokers. The CDC, another bunch of
Other
jokers.
than
So when
this they make no difference. So hungry
so when
people
you
just
get
trying
two
to get
bunch of
to
jokers,
get squander the country resources. But period.
right? When you get jokers going to an election, the incumbent, which happens to be the CDC, they can steal it. I mean, they can do anything, and the public is not going to react because the public has seen that both of them are not different. So the only way you can get the public to respond to any cheating when the public can see that the people who are even going to replace those people have any good character, but instead we will look in the CPP, there is no different. These guys are just the same. Oh, look at this. The man is so brave to even tell us that yes, we all know that these guys steal. We know. But for the first time for a senior senator to come out and say, yes, this is what we do. This is the tradition. But that tells
Yeah.
us,
You know, God too. Sometimes God can, when He gives you way over and over, sometimes He just put
yeah,
some sort of this confusion over your head, and just and say, "Oh, I made a guy to talk stuff here today," and then He start talking.
and,
That's
and,
what. That's exactly
and
what He was doing.
he has no remorse. I mean, he's like, it is business as usual. He's laughing about it. I mean, it's like, yeah, that's what we do. Okay, Senate, you can know when we're running after Dibodiki. Well, yeah, we are now. You got your own guy now. This is the time now for you guys to speak. And we want to see everybody in the CPP speak. And I'm calling on everybody, even down to the Darius Dillon. This is the time now we want to see his
Dara
strength.
Dillon will not speak.
We
Dara
want to
Dillon did
see
not
his strength.
question Nyombli Kanga Law in her 9 years. It did
Right.
not question her record 9 years in the Senate. So why would Dara Dillon talk about what his name said, Milton Tia? Dara did not say Dara Dillon didn't say anything about sound of mode that they use the government
Or
money.
Donna
Nothing going to
Johnson.
come from other. And these are the people who they say they want to be like a change agent. Change agent it's so freaking annoying to see the behavior of these people and what they are doing to the country,
You
and
know,
then they come and sit here their supporters, all of them
sometimes
crying here like a little chihuahua all over the place. They want to do this.
that's why
These people,
sometimes
it's all about themselves.
when I listen to Darius Dillon when he said, "Oh, you can put all the CDC guys together," I was still waiting. And I always said to myself, Darius Dillon, if you want a free and fair election, your statement will be so true. But you are going against the both sides are all criminals. CPP are criminals. CDC are another bunch of criminals.
Well, I don't
And
want
you
to. It
see,
would be unfair to kind of to do other people. Hold on 1 second. Let me see this other caller here. What is callers trying to say here? 817 number. Are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
All right. Is that Kemo?
No,
Oh,
this is Benson Mason.
okay. How are you, my dear brother? Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Mr. So. How you doing today?
Oh man, I'm sick. Milton Tiaja make me sick, and nobody's saying anything about it. He's still out there. Then he won $3 million from front page. Are you serious?
Is he calling it real? Is he real calling it defamation of character?
I don't know. I'm trying to give him the opportunity. He has not picked up our call for us to really have a conversation and ask all of the necessary questions. I guess the reporter was on the phone. Nobody put finger in his esophagus to say kind and talk. But sometimes how God can expose people.
Exactly. Exactly. And I'm kind of confused. You say you do this corruption and you said it from your mouth that this is corruption you can do. That telling the people when we confirm you, I will give you K2 job. That you said it. So when somebody else say it, then that's defamation of character. Who deform your character?
The man was laughing. You talking to he laughing like you think he's funny.
But I'm kind of taking it back. When that was called the Senate spineless, useless, they all gang up against him and said that he used to be investigated. Milton CIJ has come up front and said this is a tradition. And they are not investigating him. They are not taking anything, they are not going to the law, to their own rules, to call him to vote and to take decision against him. They are doing nothing. The whole Senate is sitting there doing nothing about it.
So what does that tell you when you see the kind of thing unfolding live? You see it happening to broad daytime. You see it happening. What comes to your mind as a Liberian?
I pity our country. I pity our people. I pity the choice we make. That's what comes to my mind. How sorrowful we are about ourselves. And you see, people who were singing these guys' praises are saying nothing. Some of them are coming up, even trying to defend this kind of utterance. And this is to tell you how much we are not sincere to our country. If I was thinking, here this trade, I would be the first one up and destroying his legacy, destroying his name. I will come against him with everything I got. Because that means he has demoralized my morals. He has brought me down in front of the people who respect me. If I was thinking his praises, if I had trust in CJ, I would be on him worst of all. Like I tell people, the trust I got in Dallas Bill. If they don't think drunk and these things are born about him, I would be one person on social media and on state media. I would be there to destroy everything he has done. Because why? People trust me as a person when I support him. They trust my moral. And they say that he will stand for this value. So I feel like where I am right now, I'm sorry because I need to hear some people even speaking up, even calling on the legislature to have Nathan.
Are you from? I had to do that. When you say son of people, are you from there or what?
No, I'm not from San.
Oh, okay. Oh, but I brought one of the expiring here recently, and he was scratching your hair like you get less in your hair. He doesn't know. He didn't ask. He didn't do anything. Come on. So it's like he condoned what he's doing. So, I will be hosting Son of Representative Matthew Zaza, Honorable Matthew Zaza, this Saturday. It's Saturday afternoon here, and I hopefully we're going to go into that because he has declared his intention for 2023. So whether he want to take that culture there as well, whether that's a culture from Sano to Morovia, we were asking as well. But I don't think it's a Sano affair. Let's just say it as it is. This is not a Sano affair. Let's be honest with it, because the behavior of these people is just so bad. Not even his party has not condemned or even calling out of his behavior. Not to mention the collaborative party. Milton Tiaja, he knows he should know better. He's been in government for the long years. He's been an activist. He's been the voice. Milton Tiaja was from the Samuel Dotan, the fella part, and he's been around.
Go back. He been there for the 12 time.
There you go.
When the activists started, Milton Tiaja was in the group. Okay.
Those are the I think liberal progressive group. You know.
Yes. You know, now to come to here on there now.
Okay, hold on. I'm one progressive is calling here, and let me see whether he wants to go in the defense of his progressive, liberal progressive LPR something to is on the line from California. Are you there, progressive?
Yes, I am. Thank you very much, Mr. So. Appreciate it.
Okay.
I'm calling in regard to Mr. TJ recording, and I'm embarrassed because I know TJ,
embarrassed as what?
I'm embarrassed for his utterance, and if it is true that they usually do something like that, then that's something that Liberians
whoa. Do they do? Look, this is the problem, you liberal. This is the problem, you liberal.
Mr. So, the fact that Milton Cheji said this is a tradition, that does not make it tradition until we can fully prove that everything that is indeed a tradition in the Senate. Other than that, that's just his word. That's just his word.
There you go.
We say there are many people that can exaggerate. There are many people that can try to make up stories and what have you. So perhaps he got caught and he wants to get out of it. But I'm not making any excuses for the Senate at all. What I'm saying to you this afternoon, Mr. So, is that if what Mr. TJ admitted, if this is truly the tradition, then I think we Liberians need to think twice of who we talk to and who we send over there. I keep saying it, that now people will be coming to your door, knocking to churches, knocking to mosques for people to gather together to vote for them, because they will be begging.
Are you embarrassed as a liberal? He himself is a liberal, he's a progressive. Are you embarrassed by your colleague, a progressive colleague?
I am a liberal progressive. I am not embarrassed. I am a liberal progressive. What we do is to be truthful and
to have a culture, to build a culture, to build a culture of corruption, dishonesty, deception on Capitol Hill.
That is not part of being a liberal or a liberal progressive. That is not our culture. Our culture as being a liberal and a liberal progressive, our culture is to be truthful and to be transparent.
So, but he's truthful. Okay, but no, hold on, right there. He's truthful. He's truthful in this case. He's truthful in this case, right?
Well, yes. I mean, you can't say that because that has not been tested.
Tested where?
This truthfulness has not been tested. So that just say this is his word. As far as I'm concerned, this is a statement that was made, but the truthfulness has not been tested. And as a liberal progressive, I will give him leeway, and I will give the Senate leeway to say, what are you doing? Now, one of the serious things here and concerning as a liberal progressive, what is concerning to me is to see the silence from the Senate. It's deafening. The silence alone is deafening. And that's something that I think
your party, Liberty Party, with Nyombli Kanga Lawrence, which of course Milton Tiaje and his Unity Party has formed a political union yet to come out to speak to it. Do you want to speak to that too as well?
Mr. So I'm not here to speak about Liberty Party. I'm not representing Liberty Party.
He's part of it, yeah, but your view matters.
Yeah,
you are a registered card holder member of Liberty Party.
The fact that I'm a member of Liberty Party does not mean that everything else that someone else is doing, that we're going to take responsibility for that. In fact,
are you willing to condemn? Are you willing to condemn his action?
I'm condemning the action. If it is true, I'm condemning it.
If it is true,
as Liberty Party, I don't represent Liberty Party view at all. But what I'm going to tell you is that Liberty Party, the party of interest, the party of transparency, the party, Liberty Party, is the party of what people who wants to be truthful to the Liberian people. This is the party. You know what, man? What our political leader is doing right now? Building Momo Clinic all over.
Building Momo Clinic because because she's fighting for her political career. Don't even go there this afternoon with me, Samson. I want you to bring Nyombli Kanga Lawrence here. Let me have a discussion with her.
Look at Honorable Senator Dillon. Look at his performance in Mozarella County. Who you think you're going to be able to dislodge this young man from the senatorial position? Nobody. You can bring George Weada and we will knock him out. There's nobody to take Honorable Dillon's out, and you know it. So the point here is don't try to tangle this thing around Liberty Party. You know
of course the court. We will put this court.
Corruption is not part of our DNA. Let me put it this way. Corruption is not part of the Liberty Party DNA. So there's no way we're going to have to accept anybody behaving or misbehaving, and then perhaps the media and everybody else trying to tie around Liberty Party. We will resist it. We will fight it, legally that is, and then make sure we be truthful in the process.
These are the liberals that we have in the country that are causing problems for her. You hear?
I'm just telling you the fight. One of the things that I noticed, it seemed to me, one of the things that I noticed about the diaspora, so-called media, they do not like to be told the truth. And I think Liberians, if we want to count on ourselves, the so-called diaspora media are going to have to come and play ball with us. They can't just make up story as they go. They can't just make up the game and say, if you want to play,
conspiracy,
it's not happening.
The conspiracy, the innuendos, the kitchen scenes is always bent enhanced by this liberal progressive of the Liberal Public Radio called Samson To. Always support this sort of bad behavior. He's not taking here. He's not taking. I will say it.
Well, you can say, but that doesn't make it true. You can say it, but that doesn't make it true. I just told you that if Mr. Church's statement,
what is if?
True,
why are you attaching conditions? Milton Tia just said it.
He said this is a tradition.
And so why you how you
in order for it to become tradition, perhaps it's tradition for him as an individual. But if he's saying this is the tradition for the Senate, then that particular thing.
There you go. He has added a code. He has added a.
Cannot just accept it as it is. We have some decent people in the Senate.
Who are those? Sano Johnson?
No.
Mr.
It's not about Sano Johnson. I'm just
Mr.
telling you that if Mr. Tiagi's statement, if he's trying to say this is a tradition.
So let me ask you before I get to the guys here. Let me ask you to Abel. So are you? Yeah, come in. Hold on 1 second, Abel. Are you saying because TJ attached a condition to it, so are you not validating his statement? Is that what you're saying? You want us to go to court? We should take him to court.
What I'm asking you, the media, especially the diaspora media, what I want you to do is to test that statement. Do your work. Do some homework on this.
What sort of homework? Can you make a suggestion?
For example, call other people from the Senate and see if this, in fact, it is a tradition in the Senate. Perhaps this is a tradition for Milton Churchy, and I'm not disputing that. But if he's saying that this is a tradition that all Senate practice, then that has to be tested. That's my point.
Okay. All right. Let me give. Hold on 1 second. Ben, go ahead. Let's do it one at a time, please. Text it. Hold on 1 second. After Ben, then you go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah. So what I want to. So what I want.
Hold on, guys. We're all talking together. After Ben, then I will come to you to Texas. Ben, go ahead.
I want to admit you not Ben. I want to address some of the things that Mr. Sampson just said. In fact, he seems to, his argument when he is using the if clause is always used when the person or when something is being said about somebody. So that's just when we use the if clause. But if a person himself made a statement, say, I did this, you can't, the if clause does not apply in that sense. So I do not understand why he is saying if that is true. No, we can say if it is true when the person themselves is admitting that, yes, I did this. Now, when Mr. Tiaji said, this is a tradition, we should know that Mr. Tiaji is not a member of the committee. He is the chair of a committee. So he is telling us what happens in his committee. So all of these
Mr. Soul, you cannot allow this young man to ring untruthful statement on the progressive liberal progressive this afternoon. I am not going to accept that. Now, if I'm using the word if again, Mr. Kedge's statement was, this is what we do. In other words, this is a tradition. And I'm saying to you that if
is that acceptable, something? Is that acceptable?
You cannot continue to
Mr.
Okay, guys, hold on. Give him a chance. Hold on. Okay, give him a chance. Okay.
No, but I'm saying, this is what I'm saying. If Mr. Tiaji's statement, and I'm using the word if again, if it is true that this is tradition here in the Senate, then that particular statement must be challenged, must be tested. How do you test it? He is not the only senator in the Liberian Senate. He is not the only senator he's the chairman of a committee, but he's not the only person on that committee. Can we then try to say and talk to other members of that committee? Is this true that this is a tradition? And let one or two come out and confirm that.
Okay, this is what I'm gonna do.
And the Senate responsible.
Let's do it this way. Before the guy can liberal progressive. You understand their language. You speak the language that they speak. You are our colleagues. You also host a major program on this network. Are you willing to call them in?
Yes, I will do my.
You're not even sure. You're not even answering. His voice is fading away. Your voice is fading away.
Yes. What do you mean I'm not sure? I said yes. Yes, I'm going to contact people, but that does not
you answering yes, like you on life support here and struggling how to breathe. Okay, let me go to this guy from Texas.
You and your people are looking at the progressive to fall this afternoon, and you know none of you, all of you combined, including your own audience, none of you can make it up with the liberal progressive. Please, this is not something that happens overnight.
So the labor progressive always play with words and use the words to escape.
This guy is a complete embarrassment.
This is a tradition of my office. She did not say this is a tradition of the Senate. She said this is a tradition as a chairman. She said this is a tradition. So I am thinking Mr. Tiaje off. All is telling me is that this is a tradition in the Senate, but Mr. Tiaje has up to his own responsibility of defrauding the Nigerian people, giving the Nigerian poor people. So, I mean, when I say poor, inadequate people, incompetent people.
Exactly. And so he helps to ill-advise the president.
Except for the Nigerian people, Mr. Mr. Tiaje did not say this is the practice of the Senate. He said this is a tradition of my office.
Okay, that's what we frown on. So listen, is there wrong next?
I know you coming to protect your brother.
Who?
At this point in time, the Senate needs to start calling him up and having an impeachment proceeding for him.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm calling for. I said there must be an investigation.
All of you, let me ask this question.
There you go.
I know people were paying attention to some of my statements that I was making here earlier. I said the concerning thing. The silence from the Senate is deafening. In other words, these people are being quiet, including my own Liberty Party people.
Including yourself, Samson, as a liberal, you have never addressed this issue.
I'm on air with you trying to distance myself from that type of behavior from Honorable Tiaje, the person that I know. Okay, and he's still an honorable man because he's serving in the.
No, we don't dispute. We don't dispute that.
Listen to me. Until he leaves the Senate,
he don't.
Okay, hold on, guys, hold on. We are not in the market. Please. Let's.
The title. He is representing the Senate of the Republic of Liberia. He's not representing the Senate of Tiaje House. So let us get that clear. Until Tiaje can be convicted,
the liberal,
honorable person.
The liberal. Yes. Are you aware, as head of autonomous agency chair, who confirms all presidential appointment for saying such a thing? Are you in support that must be a special select committee to further move, to further deep or investigate for Mr. Tiaje to tell the Liberian people more? I think we still knowing little of what he's saying. I think there are more information needs to come out from Tiaje. Are you support?
What's your bubble, Mr. Soul?
There you go.
But the Senate is a duly respectable organization.
So why we're investigating?
It has its own rule. Mr. Soul, let me finish. They have their own rule. I'm not going to sit here in my comfortable Sacramento building and say the Senate must and try to dictate to the Republic of Liberia.
Samson Toh, you are sounding so ridiculous this afternoon.
And what I'm willing to do,
Mr. Toh is just filibustering.
No, I'm not. Yes, you are. From Mr. Tiaje. But the problem, or whatever they have to do, it is the Senate responsibility to come out clean out of this. But I'm not going to dictate to them, because who am I? These people were elected by my brothers and sisters.
So what wrong with investigation? If you call for investigation, is that a dictator?
Who am I to call for investigation?
You are all citizens of Liberia. You are a radio host. Come on.
I can make that declaration, but that doesn't make it.
You are taking a partisan line. You are taking a partisan line this afternoon, and that's what you're doing here. And you are taking a liberal position because you believe Milton Tiaje is a liberal like yourself. So you are moving in that direction. That's a disgrace.
He just lost me as one of his.
That's right, my brother. The scene. I will bring you back. I will bring you back. But I'm not going to sit here because the fact that I'm going to be losing you, therefore I should take a stand that I'm not comfortable with. I'm not going to do that. That's not what we do as a liberal. I will be truthful and I will be sincere. The fact that Milton Chetty has admitted whatever it is that he has made it to, it's on him. Number one, I as an individual, I as a Liberian would distance myself from that kind of behavior. Now,
I agree.
In terms of the Senate involvement, the Senate is an institution, a viable institution, living institution for the Republic of Liberia. They themselves, they have their own rule, and hopefully that rule will be applied here for the international community to see that these people are no joke. So, in that sense, I will leave that with the Senate to make that decision.
Excuse me, Mr. So, Mr. So is sending me mixed signal. Mr. So, you are sending me mixed signal. Are you misfiring?
No, I'm far from it. Far from it. Hold on. Let me give you Donald Trump. Let me give you a little bit of a Donald Trump scenario. Even in the house, in my own bed, I don't misfire, my brother. I never misfire.
Don't even go there with Donald Trump, because if it was a Donald Trump would have called this guy out. Yeah, you are unable to do that. You are taking the partisan line. That's a disaster. It's ridiculous, your position here this afternoon, and you're still giving justification of the actions of Milton Tiaje.
No, you people, see, this is what I know about Nigerians. As long as
we go
again. Position,
if
you take a definitive position, that might not be considered to be popular, then they consider you as being radical. And we've gone through that before. We've been around. So I'm not afraid of being called names. Whatever that I do, I must be truthful, and I should stand by whatever that I'm saying, because I believe it to be true. Now, let me give it to you again. Milton Tiaje action, whether true or not, I distance myself from that kind of behavior, because that is not something that will give us confidence for these people to get Liberia to be developed. Number one. Second thing is this. Milton Tiaje, let us all agree that he's in a position of leadership, number one. Second thing, Milton Tiaje belongs to an institution which has its own rule. We cannot sit here on this Liberian public radio platform and trying to instigate or trying to condemn or trying to ask the Senate to get involved. Who are you to tell the Liberian Senate that has its own rule to implement that rule? Liberian Senate, they're respectable people. They will find out what the truth is, and they will do what they have to do in the interest of the Liberian people.
Mr. To, can I ask you?
Mr.
To,
yes.
Mr. To,
yes.
Now, can we agree that we cannot apply the if clause to Milton Tiaje's statement? Can we agree to that?
No, I cannot agree to that.
There you go.
Oh my God.
There you go. The liberal progressive from Scott. That's how they behave. These people. This is why Samson Toll cannot leave California.
Will accept that. And let me just give you one little point, then you can finish. Go ahead.
Okay, so Mr. Toll, so if you saw me stealing something and I admitted to you, say yes, I stole this, are you going to say if it is true that Ben stole this?
Yes, look, my brother, don't let me go the liberal way on you right now. Listen to me. The fact that you have admitted stealing, the fact that you have admitted stealing, even if you're on camera, the fact that you have admitted stealing, there's still what they call rule and law. I must pursue the prosecution by presenting evidence.
All right. Look, all right, guys. Ben, hello. Ben, make your last statement. I got to wrap up here. I can't pull over this guy this afternoon because I don't want to flip up on him here. Make your last statement, and I'm going to bring him on here at some point in time on camera. Let we look at one another vis-a-vis, face by face, and let something told. Then we can get to A here. So Ben, make your last comment. I will go to text here. The liberal progressive, stay there, don't go. I'm gonna do the last briefing with you before you get out.
So my final statement is that what we see Mr. Cho is exhibiting is usually sometimes most of the reason why our country is the way in which it is because people try to back the various parties. When something is wrong, it is wrong. When the CDC does things, everybody come on the CDC. If the Unity Party is doing it, if the LP is doing it, we must also be able to call it out. If we don't do these things, we will only deepen the problem that will happen in our country. Thanks for having us, Mr. Swan.
All right, so let me go to my dear brother from Texas, and I'm going to have this liberal from California who refusing to leave California. Let him make his final comment.
So thank you for this elegant and eloquent show. I really will call on all of us, and like Ben said, to be sincere first with ourselves. We cry that people sing praises of the president when the president is performing his function. We cry that citizens are doing things that are not appropriate, but whenever it comes to us, we always find a way. And I'm really, I'm at a point where I don't know what to believe about this progressive. When you hear the truth,
that's why they never talk state power. They are not correct. They are fake progressive. They are not authentic. They are not genuine.
Yeah, and then you ask us that, okay, what do you do? The Senate are our employees. We can call them to execute the law. We can call the Senate and say, hey, this is the rule. Execute this rule now. But you say, no, who am I to ask the Senate to employ the rule? But then who am I to ask the judge to be just? Who am I to ask the policeman to institute justice or to come in for peace? I'm nobody. And since Mr. Trump believes that we are nobody in this scenario, I will call on all Nigerians to have a moral clause, independent of yourself, independent of us that will move our country forward.
Okay.
That's all I say at this point. Think positive, Liberia first, every other person next.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Thank you, guys. All right. Let me go to Samson Branto, the liberal progressive of the Liberia Popular Radio, based in California. When are you leaving California, my dear brother?
I am. Am I audible, Mr. Soul?
Loud and clear.
Thank you. And again, I want to thank you very much for giving me the opportunity. I feel bad the fact that we're not able to do face to face on camera. At least
you would never on planet I want to come on camera, so don't even get you now. Okay. You are trying to change the narrative yet. When are you living in California? Okay, make your
far from it, Mr. So you know me. I don't cower to nothing, especially from the conservative media and its audience. And there's no way the liberal progressive gonna cower to any kind of conservative view. And the first thing is this. My point of argument, Mr. Soul, and I don't want to take any of your time, my point of argument is this. Mr. Tiaji has come out publicly and said this is a tradition. Now, the question of tradition in his office, if it is so, there's no test to be done on that because that's his office and he's the chief. But if he's saying that this is the tradition, even in the committee that he's chairing, then we need to test that to see if other members of that committee will agree. First thing. Second thing.
Let's put it on the radar here. He's the chairperson of the committee, right? And he presides over the committee. And he said this is a tradition. So is he doing it in isolation with the other committee members? Is that what you want to say? Is it not in concurrence with other committee members? And you want to count this pre-diet?
Mr. Soul, when he made this statement, he did not say on behalf of the committee, I am saying this. He said it as an individual. And therefore, even if he's implicating other committee member into this whatever wild speed that he's going on, we still must give the other people the opportunity to either admit or not. That's how you test it.
Fair enough.
I'm not going to fight with you guys. I'm not going to fight with you guys on this. The second thing here is this. As a liberal progressive, what I do believe in is this. Fair justice. So even if you admit of doing certain things, I cannot convict you on the fact that you have admitted it until the jurisdiction responsible jurisdiction.
Do you suppose his idea now he's
responsible.
seeking for $3 million from front page for what he called whatever defamations of assassinate his character?
And that's what I made a statement yesterday. That's a very good case for the Supreme Court or for the institution.
Okay, I'm just let me accommodate our analyst here, George. Mr. George here. I was trying to sign up, but let me for George. He called earlier. Pa George.
Yes, sir.
Can you come get this something to from my backyard this afternoon, please?
Well, you got a labor on a ventilator this afternoon.
I get a man to unplug that ventilator and let will be done with the labor once and for all, and then I think we're just going to be fine for the rest of our time. Go ahead.
Here's the thing here. According to that tip, when Megan admitted of a culture of practice in his office, that is in itself that makes him guilty, because his function is not defined as to confront someone and getting something back in pay. There's no condition. The only condition to confront people, they must meet with the requirement of the Honorable Librarian Senate and the Constitution.
Right.
It did not say that you should back him, get a kickback when you confront someone. That is corruption. And what I expected the party to do as a responsible party that believe in transparency and believe in the Liberian people was to call Medan TIG to set a committee to investigate him.
That's what I'm saying. This is not what Samson told. Samson told said they shouldn't do that. Samson told is not buying into that idea. He's not a favorite. I have not heard anything from Unity Party. I have not heard anything from this opposition to even call out militancy.
Listen, let me give an example. The senator of New Jersey, Menendez.
Yes. Lee Menendez.
He was accused.
Right.
He was accused in the campaign for receiving gifts. The Democrat talking off the committee and sent a committee to investigate him, and he went to
Tell
court.
him.
He went to court.
Samson told, are you still there?
He was head of the foreign committee. They took him off that committee and said, go through your investigation. And he went to court. He won the case. He
was vindicated until, right. That's what we are saying.
So I expect the Liberal Party to do the same thing. But if they are silent, then of course there's a problem with the party being silent when one of the members saying that he's selling position.
No, he were Unity Party. Let's give the Liberal here, but Liberty Party, Unity Party, all of them, they are formed collaboration. So whatever they are doing now, we see them, they are coordinating as a team.
Yeah, and secondly, Mr. So
here we go. You call yourself a journalist, and now you're going to build by the association. Out of this organization, Mr. So, are you kidding me? Built by the association.
Mr. To, here's another thing here. All the committees, from what Megan Tia just said, so it means, because it's a culture. So let him come to the president pro tem of the Librarian Senate. I expected the president pro tem to invite Megan Tia to come and explain to the honorable body what
Mr. George.
There you go. Just listen to him. Listen.
Let me make this clear.
Okay.
Let me make this clear. And I'm not backing down. I'm taking my position and I'm sticking with it. Now, let us all agree that the Senate is an institution in the Republic of Liberia. Let us agree that. Those people were duly elected without any kind of interference.
Understandable. Fair enough.
Now, these people also have rules that govern themselves. Let us give them a chance to see if these rules are going to be applicable in this situation. What's wrong with that? Why must we try to rush to judgment and trying to suggest to the honorable senators to say you got to do?
Is that something to?
No.
Is that rush to judgment in your mind, in your thinking?
You were there the other day when the someone Galan Dela for referring to the Senate that they don't have spine and backbone. They took action. Right away, they called him.
Your cousin Joseph, your cousin Tengba from Lofa County was the one that was leading that charge. We call him here, we refuse to come. But you do not have the guts to come and tell us here the same thing.
I am not in disagreement. I've already made that statement. I don't know why you guys trying to beat this around the bush and trying to beat it over my head.
We will beat it all over you because you're still not getting it.
I already stated that the destiny, the silence is from the Senate. It's deafening. How much more you want? Okay, let me put it in the real. The people, the way the Senate, the way they quiet like that, it really hurting me, my people. The way we hear anything from them, it really hurting me.
No, but Mr. Todd, that's not all. The president has been silent. I want him. But what's about the party that he from? The party that he from is also silent. That's another issue there. Because
I never heard, and I'm going to call George Lobo on that. I've never heard George Lobo Unity Party.
George Lobo can defend, George Lobo is always defending any administration, saying that.
You see, this is a frustration. This is a frustration. And so when these guys, in as much the CDC government needs to have some sort of scrutiny, these opposition folks, these liberals, like Samson told, they become so selective to carefully choose their talking point, things to talk about, things not to talk about. They become so selective, they make information on disproportional.
Media institution, a host of a major new organization to be so much unfair in terms of pronouncement against me and the opposition. That is unfair and that is uncalled for. All I'm arguing this afternoon, Mr. So, is that the justice is going to be done. Let's see. We already said that we need to build institutions.
Why you did not address yourself to this here? Why you never address yourself to this? Why you chose to back off from this side, from this talking point, and instead you kept bringing a formula case in the 1960s, which has had nothing to do with. This is why you always try to dive to your.
We know the real jealousy and the real LPR is coming out now. You're going to now try to tie this unbelievable behavior of a senator to that of the honorable formula.
No, Mr. So, you're not saying the unbelievable behavior of the senator. But the question I was asking, why handle the institution that he belongs to not coming out?
No, that one he will not go there.
Yeah, I am not here to answer for that institution, especially
there you go.
Even not Senate. I'm not going to answer for the Senate because the Senate
the party.
I'm not going to answer for that because I don't know why Unity Party has not come out to say something. I don't know, and I'll continue to say.
Why your political leader, something to why your political leader.
Political party.
Okay, now listen. Yeah, okay, Liberty Party. Why your political leader who is in the vanguard for leadership and for best governance practices, somebody who she has also accommodated to form a political union, why are they not speaking out? Not just on the Unity Party. Why they can't denounce such a behavior?
Mr. So, first of all, let's do this.
Let's
do this. Let's give the honorable.
He's trying to buy time. He's trying to buy time. Make your last word. What's your last statement? What's your last statement?
The essence of being a conservative.
Okay.
People, you always want to climb the ladder, and then when you climb, then you put the ladder up. You say nobody else coming up here. That's who you guys, the conservative. That's who you are. But we're not like that. We give people the latitude. If they have the opportunity to explain themselves, because that's what we have to do. Let us give these honorable gentlemen.
Okay, guys, time has caught up with me here. Pa George, make your last statement. This liberal here, I want to get him off this line here as soon as possible because we're not going to arrive at anything.
Let me say to the liberals, the last time an expiring or senator from Sano County was on the platform, and I posed the identical question to him. I think Mr. So can attest to it, and he said that he had not heard.
No, he said you are, but he didn't listen to a. Come on, you coming for an interview, expiring for the county. This is why your senator, the position that you want, you will potentially, if elected, you're going to be in the same here. But he does not even have the guts to say, "Oh, This is why, but then he was all here trying to deflate and I pivot from my question and he couldn't answer. I can't wait to have Matthew Zaza on, but Matthew Zaza here on Saturday, he's going to be here with me. And let me see what's going to be his answer as well.
So, no, let me just say this. If we are talking about changing the culture of Liberia, we have to be very vigilant, transparent, and swift when these things happen. Because if these people don't want to come up, then they gave us the room to speculate. Milton Chiege, if he would have come up to explain what he meant, or the party would have come up.
Yeah,
it's not be right talking.
It's the explanation. He won $3 million. The one that maybe he wasn't able to get on it, just seeking favor for employment when he confirms, and he there laughing with as he think he's talking about his stuff. That's what he said, and he was bold to say, that if we don't confirm, you won't get this job. So they all help the president. They all help to facilitate for the president to make wrong decision. If he's there in the House of Edo to deceive the president, he should be ashamed of himself.
Yeah. But, so in the front page, Mr. So it gets a distraction. This is what they do to shut down the media. That is the strategy to do, to shut down the media.
Based on speculation, Mr. George. Based on speculation, Mr. George.
There you go. I said, can you please, Pa George, make your last statement? Let me get something off my back here this afternoon.
It was very joining the conversation, and I hope April will continue this conversation. And let me say thank you to the audience.
Okay.
Samson,
I give 20. Listen, hold on. 20 seconds for you, please.
Yes, of course. It's a liberal. You're going to cut him off. I want to thank you very much, and I want to thank the audience for listening to me. Folks, we don't.
They're not listening to you. They're not listening to you. Don't make yourself feel good.
Whatever you see, you get me 20 seconds. You're taking 10 of that second out of way from it. But anyway, that's what you guys do. You're conservative. You always want something for yourself. You don't care for other people. So that's why the poor people playing in Liberia like that. Because you're conservative people. You take everything for yourself, and you don't want anybody else to do it. And this is what we're going to challenge you guys foot to foot. Good evening. Thank you very much.
All right, that's the Liberal Progressive of the Liberia Public Radio and LPRO TV. We're going to draw the curtain down here this afternoon, folks. I want to thank you so much for being part of this program. I'm going to do then the favor, the Liberal Progressive, Yahweh. I'm going to be playing this song here by Pastor Tawanin Bodwet. Is based in Liberia. I think Yahweh need to come in for us to see, to deliver us here. I'm Alfonso Zean, so thank you so much for being here this afternoon.
Yahweh, you are too much for me. Yahweh.
That's how we're going to leave it this afternoon here. I'm going to be back here Saturday, same time, same station with more editions of your program. Stay tuned. I'm Alfonso Zean.
Jehovah Elohim God, you are too much for me. Jehovah Rabboni, you are too much for me. Ancient Sunday, you are too much for me. When I was down, you lifted me up. You turn my ashes to beauty, Lord. You favor me and bless me. Oh, you are too much for me.
We need to call Yahweh for divine intervention for that house of Edo, right? The people there, they need to be honest. Come on. My goodness.
Lord, there's no God that I can compare to you. Oh, you are too much for me.
This is Minister Borit. One inch, you're going to be live here. Hopefully, when all goes well, there's going to be a big versus concert here to be hosted by Minister Kofa, Rose Kofa, and huge number of gospel artists from inside Liberia, USA, Europe, other parts of the world They're going to be a big concept here. Get ready for it. These people are doing extraordinary work in Liberia, so you're going to make an impact to what is happening. I want to say good afternoon to Madam Muna Tadeba right there in Missouri, Kansas City. I hope everything doing okay. The Ome as well, and all of you beautiful folks following us here. Justino Gay Chate is in the race for the senatorial seat of Grand Gita County. We're going to make time here. We're going to be having a conversation with this brother as well. Let's see what he has in store, what he intends to bring to the table. This seems to be a new generation. Is that a new generation change? Called by President Helen Johnson Sirleaf is taking preeminence. Let's find out.
When I calculate your blessings, even my friends cannot imagine your glory. You are too much for me, Daddy. You are too much in my life, Lord. Reliable God you are, Daddy. Self-existing God you reign. Your supremacy you rule forever. Your royal highness, I magnify your name, Lord. You took me from the very clay, and you set me the ground to stand. You exalt me above my enemy, and you place me the wings of eagle. I am nothing without you, Lord. I am nothing without you, Lord. Hopeless without Jehovah. I am useless without your grace, Lord.
Oh, what a beautiful voice fading away from inside Liberia. She's going to be live in concert here on the 9th of August. It's going to be a virtual concert. Will be hosted by Minister Rose Kofa and another tons of artists are going to be here on the 9th of August. Here to be hosted by the Liberia Public Radio and LPR TV. I'm Alfonso Zean, so are going to be here. They're going to be at another person here carrying on this process. These ladies are involved in an extraordinary work in Liberia, and there's a need that we impact. Please, nobody develop leprosy fingers. It's time to give to the work of God. Well, the two old men on the world time has caught up with me here this evening. Want to leave it here. Walk up, watch. I can see that man there, buddy. I'm welcoming my own one of my mentors. I'm talking about Chairman Jerry Body is based in Canada. My mentor, go now, so bad. But you don't come later this program here. I want to thank you so much for being here. I'm going to be here Saturday. I'm going to be hosting Honorable Matthew Zazat, District number 3, Sano County, Republic of Liberia. He has made a declaration. He's going to be contesting 2023, and I believe he has made his pick already. But what does he make of his a man in the upper house, Senator Milton Tiaje, building the traditions? Where is it coming from? From Synod to Grand Gide, Nima, Bon to Morovia, Capitol Hill? Bees and many more are going to be the question. And of course, Saturday is going to be a double pack at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Mr. Moose is we're going to get out of our comfort zones, get out of our own corridor to step into the politics of U.S. Mr. Moose is contesting for the councilman citizenship in Minnesota. But guess what? He's making a huge investment in Liberia, in Kakata. What is he doing there? And what his motive are. We're going to be hosting Mr. Moose here as well, right here, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then Sunday comes the big one. Mr. William Bill Yano will be entering the Spain zones of the Freedom Watch with Alfonso Zean. So believe me, Samson told the Liberal Progressive will not be on there, then because I'm not going to have him here to come and contaminate my program. He has already made his declaration to Mr. Bill Yano. But I'm going to be having William Bill Yano, who's the former president of the Grand Gate Association, is now taking a close eyes on the senatorial. The race is unfolding. Sarah's Cooper is going to be here as well. We hope to bring in Mr. Gate. Want to be one of the youngest to be contesting for such a high-profile position. We're going to also have him here. We're going to set a time to bring him here. Until then, the old man on the wall time check here in the East Coast of the Liberia Public Radio is 5:07 Eastern Standard Time. We're going to draw the curtain down here to more to be coming on this network. The list is huge, and we're going to do everything possible to have this conversations to hold these state people that are seeking for state power. They must be held accountable to what they are saying. Yeah. Nobody gonna walk free. We gotta ask them all of the questions: the how, the why, the when. They need to tell us. Until they can reveal their agenda. Don't wake up in the morning and say you want to be senator or be representative. You think you just want to walk on Capitol Hill there to add up to the already problem or culture. In the words of Milton T.J., the tradition, we need to break down traditions of deceptions and dishonesty. They all happen to facilitate the president to make wrong choices and wrong decisions. As an adult, the senator, you confirm, and then he laughing. You think it's funny. We can, in as much as we're vice president, we are. These are the people they embed. These are the people that facilitate the process as well. They are there to help the president to make good decisions. If the president makes it, it is the constitutional right of the president to make an appointment. They are there to determine, to confirm whether that person is qualified or not based on their investigation. But instead, he get a culture, he get a tradition now. And it will not confirm, you will not get that job. Seriously. Folks, our good thing must come to an end. Thank you so much for being part of this program. The Francois Zean of the Liberia Public Radio and LPR TV. Have a pleasant afternoon. Bye-bye.
Yeah.